After the 1997 passing of his mom, Princess Diana, 12-year-old Prince Harry found it difficult to communicate and process his emotions. In an interview with Newsweek, he explained how difficult it was for him to walk behind her coffin, surrounded by thousands of people watching him while billions tuned in on television. He cried once during a ceremony on a small island where she was buried, and he cried one more time since then. After that, he bottled up his emotions and slipped into a life of wild parties and out-of-control behavior. International headlines documented his bug-naked escapades in Vegas, the anti-Semitic costume he wore to a birthday party, and his trip to rehab, where he learned about the dangers of substances. He later told Oprah Winfrey that he used substances and binged on alcohol to escape the anguish of losing his mom. He added, "I was willing to try and do the things that made me feel less like I was feeling." After realizing he didn't want to live his life that way, he straightened himself up just in time for him to meet Meghan Markle. An American actress meets a prince. They fall in love, get married, have children, and live happily ever after, right? Although many people equate their relationship to a fairy tale romance, we see things differently at RRG. And as YouTube's official red flag detectors, we decided to take a closer look at Meghan's life before she met Harry. And we can't ignore all the... If diving into other people's business gets your undergarments in a knot, then this ain't the video for you. But for everyone else, y'all better come up here and get one of these. It's our assortment of seasonal popcorn from rrgsnacks.com. With flavors like strawberry cheesecake, cookies and cream, and hot chocolate, 5-star snacks at our online concession stand are the perfect goodies to munch on while watching our messy videos. Now, let's go back to 2004. While Harry was working through his personal issues, Meghan was thousands of miles away in Los Angeles. According to Weekend magazine, Meghan has wanted to be an entertainer since she was a little girl. She would join her father, Thomas Markle, while he worked as a lighting director on shows like Married with Children and General Hospital. Being on a set solidified her burning desire to become an actress. When 23-year-old Meghan met 28-year-old agent and film producer Trevor Ingleson, not only did they fall in love, but he had all the right connections to help her career pop off. Express UK website states they moved in together rather quickly, and Meghan started landing more parts and more auditions, such as her gig as a briefcase girl on Deal or No Deal. Sources state that Meghan described Trevor as her mentor and declared she couldn't imagine her life without him. After 6 years of dating, the couple and more than 100 of their closest friends and loved ones flew to Jamaica, where Trevor and Meghan became husband and wife. A few months after their nuptials, Meghan headed to Toronto, where she was starring as Rachel Zane in the show Suits, while Trevor stayed in Los Angeles. Although she wasn't on the same playing field as Halle Berry or Angela Bassett, the gig pushed Meghan into the limelight, and she started to get invited to red carpet events. While she was living out her dream, Trevor tried his best to keep their relationship afloat. He reportedly took numerous 5-hour flights to be by Meghan's side, and he was also supportive of her career goals. According to a book by Andrew Morton, which we've linked for you in the description box, being in a long-distance relationship strained their marriage. After 2 years of being husband and wife, Meghan dumped Trevor, quote, totally out of the blue. The end of their marriage was so abrupt she didn't bother to meet him face to face and allegedly sent him her wedding and engagement rings through the mail. One of Trevor's friends told the author that Trevor was left feeling, quote, like he was a piece of something stuck to the bottom of Meghan's shoe. Trevor wasn't the only person that left Meghan's life. After hearing Trevor's side of the story, her best friend of almost 30 years, Nanaki Pretty, decided to end their friendship. Nanaki later told the Sun website that Meghan was very calculated in the way she handled people and relationships. So what was so wrong with Meghan leaving a marriage that didn't suit her? Well, the Sun alleged that Meghan filed for divorce because she already had a new man waiting in the wings. Meghan visited a restaurant owned by celebrity chef Corey Vitiello, who was allegedly in a relationship at the time. In a July 2014 post captured by Newsweek from Meghan's now-defunct personal blog called The Tig, she gave his restaurant a glowing review and called Corey my very favorite chef. Shortly after that, Corey ended his relationship and started dating Meghan, and this allegedly took place before her divorce from Trevor was finalized. According to author Tom Bauer, which we've also linked for you in the description box, Meghan and Corey started shacking up and moved into a 3-bedroom home somewhere in Toronto. It's believed that through Corey's connections in the food industry, Meghan was able to land guest spots on shows like Chopped Jr. and cooking segments on The Today Show. She was also able to climb the social ladder and meet other high-profile celebrities, including socialite and fashion expert Jessica Mulroney. According to an article published by Newsweek, Jessica's husband, who's the son of Canadian Prime Minister Brian Mulroney, introduced Meghan to several political families, including the Trudeaus. According to a book by author Tom Bauer, as she infiltrated more social circles, she was introduced to a group of well-connected Brits, including Harry's childhood friend Violet van Westenholz. You see where we're going with this, right? It's alleged that Meghan was patiently following her own master plan in an attempt to hook one of the world's most eligible bachelors. In Tom Bauer's book, he claims Meghan persuaded Violet to set her up on a blind date with Harry. Meanwhile, during their joint televised interview with Michelle Hussein, Meghan implied that the blind date was their mutual friend's idea. After Meghan revealed this information, body language experts analyzed Harry's expression. And you can see how his body tenses up. He looks down toward the ground and looks rather uncomfortable. And on that note, what's the truth? Was it the mutual friend's idea to hook them up, or was Meghan plotting the whole time? We don't know, but it's clear that somebody's lying. During that same video clip, Meghan and Harry refused to reveal the name of their mutual friend to protect their friend's privacy. Or did they refuse to reveal the person's name because one of them was afraid the media would reach out to the friend to corroborate Meghan's story? Child, anyway, during that same interview, Meghan claimed that growing up in America, she didn't have a clear understanding of the royal family and didn't know much about Harry. Now, Meghan, girl, we hate to put you on blast, but do you remember that little bloggy blog you tried to wipe clean from the internet? Well, you spilled your own tea that kinda contradicts your statements. In one of Meghan's 2014 blog posts uncovered by Harper's Bazaar, Meghan reportedly wrote, "Little girls dream of being princesses. I, for one, was all about She-Ra, Princess of Power. And grown women seem to retain this childhood fantasy. Just look at the pomp and circumstance surrounding the royal wedding and endless conversation about Princess Kate." Princess Kate is Harry's sister-in-law, of course, and that paragraph alone implies that Meghan was indeed familiar with the royal family. In author Andrew Morton's book, a person identified as Meghan's childhood friend is quoted as saying Meghan was always fascinated by the royal family. The friend also says Meghan wanted, quote, to be Princess Diana 2.0. The author interviewed Meghan's teenage friends, who claimed Meghan even cried while they watched Diana's 1997 televised funeral. And get this, a year before she met Harry, Meghan told Canadian Living website that her favorite fragrance was Jo Malone Wild Bluebell. Online users have confirmed that the Jo Malone fragrance has some of the same notes as the scent Diana was fond of, called Penhaligon's Bluebell. Was it a coincidence? Or was Meghan really that obsessed with Diana? Meghan also told Oprah Winfrey she didn't do any research on Harry or the royal family before their blind date. She also claims she didn't realize how famous Harry was in the UK. And we here at RRG call that cap. For those unaware, that's a term the Cheering use to describe when someone is potentially being deceitful. So anyway, according to author Tom Bauer, their mutual friend Violet showed Harry a picture of Meghan, and after asking for more information about her, he was interested. Well, that's one version of events. Royal expert and journalist Katie Nicholl claims Harry was very familiar with Meghan because he had a crush on the character she played on Suits. Katie claims that Harry told a friend that Meghan was his ideal woman 2 years before they met. But we'll just go with Harry's version of events. Meghan was reportedly considering moving to London, so while scoping out the scene, she met up with Harry for their blind date at Soho House's Dean Street townhouse on July 1, 2016. According to Harper's Bazaar, their first meeting lasted around 3 hours. Meghan's half-sister Samantha told an Australian radio show that Meghan emulated Diana to appeal to Harry. Samantha added, Meghan went to great lengths to study Diana, to mimic her clothing, to mimic her body language, and to wear Diana's perfume on their first date. Samantha and other online sources have implied that Meghan's plan was to morph into the woman Harry loved the most, his mom. Fragrances can evoke feelings and memories, so wearing a perfume similar to the one Diana was fond of might have evoked Harry's memories of his late mom and made him feel more drawn to Meghan. This is only a theory, though. So anyway, they hung out again the very next day, and then Meghan flew back to Toronto to the home she shared with Corey because, yep, he was still in the picture. Their 2-year relationship was hanging on by a thread, though. A few weeks after their first date, Harry convinced Meghan to join him in Botswana for 5 days, and that's when they really got to know each other. Meghan finally dumped Corey, who was described as being relieved because the final months of their relationship had been so unpleasant for him. While a long-distance relationship didn't work out for Meghan and her first husband, she was all in with Harry, and they never went more than 2 weeks without seeing each other. She shut down her blog in April 2017, although the homepage and her goodbye note are still visible. Harry proposed to her 7 months later, which reportedly caused a big royal rift. Sources told People magazine that tension between Harry and his brother William deepened after he told his family he wanted to marry Meghan. An insider said William, who dated his now wife for about 8 years before tying the knot, saw some red flags and cautioned Harry that things were moving too quickly with Meghan. This reportedly left Harry feeling angry and hurt since he was always so supportive of William and Kate's relationship. Meghan made her last appearance on Suits in April 2018. She and Harry got married the following month and received the titles of the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. As of this video, they've welcomed 2 children. Between those joyous occasions, they stepped down from their royal duties, lashed out at critics, had ongoing tension with the royal family, fractured relationships, made allegations of racism, moved into a $15 million mansion in the States, sued people, and got sued. Dang, dog. Honestly, we can go on and on and on because life following their multi-million-dollar wedding has also been full of red flags. Unfortunately, we're out of time to dig into that barrel of hot, stinking mess. But if you enjoyed this video and want to see a part 2, let us know down below. And as always, thanks for watching RRG.